welcome to another vlog. As of this vlog right now, I have one other one that I'm just getting it finalized up on my computer at home. So it's actually being encoded as we speak. This is actually for starting from Saturday or Sunday morning. Right now it's only at 19%. Last checked, so you can imagine using a single computer, single processor, single core computer to do the actual encoding takes what seems like a lifetime. Usually I would use my Precision 530, which has dual processor on it to do the encoding, but because the software that I use on that, which is OpenShot, sorry, that it lets you edit up to an hour's worth of filming. So this one that I have here has about 2 hours worth. So I'm using the old Movie Maker from Microsoft Windows to actually encode the whole thing. With the intros, the actual footage, and the ending, and the music, and all that, stuff that goes into editing. So that being said, as soon as that actually finishes off, which I got a feeling it's probably going to be finished tomorrow morning, so that'll be on the Monday morning, come my time. So once I get that done, both that and the other one I'll get actually uploaded at the same time. So that's going to take, like I said, it's going to take a little while. I started the first one last night to actually start moving around. It was around 11 o'clock or so. It was actually finished at around 9 o'clock this morning, so I started the second one off right away, which is about, I think it was a total of 6 gigs that I had there for four 30-minute shots, and that's going to be down to about 3 gigs once everything's included. The other one I did with my dash cam was a total of about 4 gigs approximately. So that's going to be about looking at 6 or 7 gigs to upload overnight. Once I get it, it's just a matter that the encoding takes a little bit longer than expected. Most people don't know this when you're actually doing vlogs, like I'm doing here with you, and when I'm actually over at the Scratch as an example. Especially when you take long shots, like when I'm shooting pool as an example at the Scratch. Usually the battery time that I have on my digital camera, which is a pocket camera, a Sony 800 silver or black, the battery time for filming is only about 30 minutes. So I do carry a second battery with me at all times to do video. So that'll give me about an hour's worth of shooting. Cinema film viewing. Shot-wise, I can go up to close to about 200 shots per battery, and depending on the conditions too, lighting or not, so on and so forth. I mean, I like doing vlogs and all that. It's fun to do. It gives me a chance to actually put myself out there, and you guys get to see what I do actually during the daytime. Like during the times when I do have the vlog, and any projects I do tend to come up with. So that's always a good thing. I know some of you guys aren't interested in pool, some of them might not be interested in pool, but interested in electronics and tech and other stuff. It all depends on the person. So as of this week, I'm going to try very hard to actually start that one other project that I have, which is basically it's similar to like the Wheel of Fortune game, where it's a spinning wheel, but it's all digital. It's all LED lighting. So what I'm going to do with that there is, I had bought the kit. It was only about $6.99, $7 the kit, and it comes all with all the pieces and all that to put together to assemble. The instructions are there, and they tell you, okay, for this resistor you put that there, for that resistor you put that there, for the microcontroller you put that there, so on and so forth. So it's basically assembling it and not only assembling it, but putting solder on the contacts onto the already etched circuit board, so you can make connections. And it uses a simple AA battery or a 9-volt battery to actually power the thing, so it doesn't take a lot of voltage. Everything's low level and everything's clean. It's just a matter of tying and putting it together and setting up the little workbench to do it on. In most cases, I haven't done any soldering recently, so I know my soldering skills are way out of whack. Last time I actually soldered something, I think it was like high school, so that's going way back. But still, it's going to be a unique thing to try out. And I know of one other guy that is fantastic in soldering stuff and all that. Actually, I know two of them. They're both on YouTube. One is John Jacobson, who runs a little TV show on YouTube called John's Arcade, and he's fantastic with his soldering skills for his arcade games. So he does a lot of fixer-uppers, like people that sell broken arcades since they don't know what's wrong with it, and he fixes them. He buys them, fixes them up. If that's the what he was looking for to buy, and he fixes them up and gets them to work. And some of the stuff that I've seen from him in regards to something like that is phenomenal. I mean, I would just say like, and I'm a computer geek on the technical side of things, of setting up servers and the whatnots, but to go down to the level of this with the schematics and all that, him and his friends that he has over there, who are also engineers in electronics, they do amazing stuff. They do amazing work. So that, and the UXW Bill as well. He does some computer repairs as well as replacing capacitors, resistors, transistors, things of that nature. I haven't seen him recently fix that many things, but I think there's a couple of them that he actually is, getting to work up, like even getting to work humidifiers and all that, and HVACs, stuff of that nature. So that's always good to know. That's something of his interest. I'm not into HVACs and all that, but I'm into the other geeky stuff. So today is actually a work day for me, so I'm actually just going to get some other odds and ends here done as in regards to getting myself ready for work. There are a few things I'm going to try to get done myself. One of them happens to be that little pinwheel, that little wheel of fortune to get done too. So that there I'm going to try to get set up in regards to it. I do have some of the raw footage still available to me, so it's just a matter of putting it together and then showing the soldering on, and then I'm using so on and so forth to get it done. So it's just a matter of time for that. But it's like, I'm so tired by the time I get home at night. I get home around 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I'm just flaked out. So it's like, it makes it harder for me to actually sit down and actually do something like that. And my patience is usually thin at the end of the evening because we're doing so much stuff at work in regards to, looking into problems at work for clients and all that. So it kind of rubs off very quickly, you know what I mean? So I'm going to try with, with patience up above to see if I can actually get something done with that for you guys. Now I'm also trying to get back into my Arduino stuff because there's projects I want to do on that there. The Arduinos themselves, if you're not too sure, those are microcontrollers, programmable microcontrollers that lets you actually create projects with them and and some of them, from what I've seen, look fantastic. In regards to some of the people who are learning it, like to just give you as an example, one guy had made with some LED lights a nice little display. It's nothing that big. It's like maybe 3 by 3 by 3, which is about 27 LED lights, and with the software that he had put into the Arduino, which is not that big in comparison with other software that I've seen, program myself. It's fun because you get to see the lights turn off and on, and they do little odds and ends depending on how the program is set up, and it's fun to look at. It's like, oh, all you do is, I didn't know you can do that. It's like they show you the schematics and all that, and they give you all the stuff to work with. So that's always a good thing. So I'm going to try to get back into that, but I'm going to try to get through the lessons first on the Arduino itself, because I did buy a kit, and I want to get familiar with the kit first before going into any hardcore programming stuff and the likes. Because if I don't have the basics down first, then it's not worth me doing it, And I'd rather give you the basics and saying, okay, this is my interpretation, this is, this, that, and the other thing on those projects. So, I'm just going to go drop off here. I have got some empty bottles there that I have to get rid of. And what I mean by empty bottles, the bottles that you buy the soda pop with. So I'm going to have to get that done. So I'm going to be right back, folks, okay? Bear with me. And yeah, like I was saying, I just finally got my bottles emptied out, so got that done. What is it? I lost my train of thought. Oh Jesus! Don't you hate when that happens? To air a human to really follow up requires a computer. Doesn't matter what type it is, whether it's a tablet, PC, laptop, desktop, workstation, server. Anything can go happen. It will. Anyhow, like I was mentioning earlier on, the videos will be coming out as soon as I can. And I'm also in the dire strait of getting an upgrade for my computers itself. My two main machines, or I should say my one main machine that I'm using, is a fairly old machine for what I'm doing with. It's a single core, single processor, 32-bit machine, and it's slow. In today's world, it's just plain slow. But it gets me to where I want to go. It does what I need to do. I don't do too much gaming with it because most of today's games require super huge, humongous requirements. My computer wouldn't be able to handle it. Reason why, just not in the infrastructure to play these high-end games as much as people say that they like playing them. I've seen some of them. Yes, they are good. Like the last two revisions of Doom. They look good. I like them. They look fantastic. Really photorealistic on those things is such a good quality in comparison with the real Doom. But when it comes to playing today's games, there's nothing better like the original ones that came out way back in the day. Like the original Castle Wolfenstein 3D, the original Doom 2 series. For the simple fact that they were groundbreaking back then, and what was considered, as an example for Doom and Doom 2, it wasn't really a 3D game per se. I would say it was a 2.5D, because that's what it was really, basically. But the way they implemented it in the background was phenomenal. Today's games, it's mind-blowing. It's like resolution out the yin-yang, 1080p, 4K. It's like you're pushing the hardware too much. Luckily, I weaned myself off of that. It's not to say I don't like games. I do like games to a certain extent. But how much do you really need to run in 4K? Why do you need to play a game in 4K where it's not really required because you know it's only a game? And most of these guys, and I've reverted to, not reverted back per se, but for me personally, what I've done is I've looked at another aspect of computers, where, like when I'm dealing with video editing as an example, and this is a pure example, like I'm running a Precision 530 at home, two of them, both running Linux, both of them running with dual core Xeon processors, 32-bit, 1.5 in one and 1.8 in the other, both with 2 gigs of RAM, running on the RAM bus, which is an old technology memory that Intel had pushed way back in the day. With what I need to do, or what I usually like to do, whether it's playing, whether it's doing video editing as an example, or if you're like many people who deal with architecture like 3D rendering or 3D applications like AutoCAD as an example, where you don't really need the speed, but you need the power, computational power and throughput as an example, to do with rendering scenes of whatever it is, or doing a 3D image of whatever it is, that you need not necessarily high-end compute, like you don't need the higher processing speed and lower cores. You need lower processing speed and higher cores to even out the computational workload. I've started to go into that personally, because for the simple fact, as you grow into, or as you work with the IT industry, you start learning certain aspects of what you need in a workstation, or what you need as a gaming station, or a gaming machine. And I've worked long enough, since the beginning of when the first XTs actually came out, and actually picking up, buying my own XT at one point for about $1,500. That didn't include a hard drive. Way back in the day, spend $1,500, which gave you a 640K RAM, 2 floppy drives, 360K per floppy drive, 640K RAM, a CGA graphics card, and a monochrome monitor, which could have been either in amber or green as for the coloring. So you'll have green on black or yellow on black as for 2 colors. And even back then, CGA, you had 4 colors. Resolution was really on the low end of spectrum. Today's consideration of high-end graphics, 320 by 200 as an example. I'm just putting that out there. I don't even remember the exact quote of what CGA can do. I would have to reference it back. But even back then, it was considered high-end. Now, for about $1,500 or $1,500 to $2,000, you can get a good, decent system. If you really want something more exotic, and I've seen this on Linus Tech Tips, where he has seen, and this was actually at one of the suppliers he went to, a $40,000 machine as a workstation, which included 4 Xeon 22-core processors with hyper-threading. And then once you get the hyper-threading enabled, it became more of like a super high-end, like a wicked machine. I mean, the thing had like 512 gigabytes of RAM, and it was only using like 1%. Yeah, 1% 10% of its actual memory for the OS and to get it running. The boot time was long because of the configuration. I mean, which I totally understand. But these type of systems, you're not going to shut down, turn back on, shut down, turn back on. You're going to leave that thing running because it takes several minutes to get that machine actually booted. And I don't know the hard drive size that it had on there. It was a wicked system for 40K. Myself, if I ever do get a chance, I am going to upgrade to something decent. A machine for about 2 or 3K if I can. But I'm going to get it used through one of my suppliers because I can probably get a used system a lot better. And I've known it's already gone through some major updates on it, so it will be updated to a certain extent, but the only thing I would have to worry about is the memory and hard drive space. So I'd rather go through that and expend a little extra money on the memory and hard drive space, and then knowing that I have more than enough for a system that I need for myself. And I might just get 2 of them, one to put Windows on, like Windows 10 as an example, and the other one I'm going to be using as a Linux machine for my video editing, where I can eventually retire these 2 Xeons to do whatever else, like you know, something as a home theater system. So, and yeah, it's almost 2 o'clock. It's almost 2 o'clock here. I'm just going to get myself wrapped up with a couple odds and ends for work. We might go into work directly, but we won't be starting anytime soon because I start at 4 o'clock and it's only 2. What time is it? Yeah, it's 1:57. It's almost 2 o'clock, so I might be chatting with you a little bit longer before I actually start up and go from there. Okay? So I'll see you guys soon enough. I'm back. Yes, to hunt you out. And yeah. I have to go to one other place because they didn't have my cigarettes. Darn it. Anyhow, don't become a smoker, whatever you do. Okay? Anyhow. As for my love life, still dormant. Still dead. Speaking with an old friend of mine, who I happen to know. It's actually a friend of my ex, who I've known just as long as she has. And I know she's working in Taiwan, so she's halfway around the world, like my exes, my 2 exes. And she would like to come to Canada too. But after the 2 falling outs that I had with my 2 exes, if she wants to come to Canada, she has to find her way over here. And I love her dealer as a very good friend, and I've known her long as I've known my ex, who has the 2 kids, and I'm not going to start mentioning names. And she wants to come. She wants to come up to Canada. I said, well, get the money and make the application like everything else. It's like if you want to come to Canada, you got to do what you got to do. And I'm still in contact with her, just chat wise. And I know because there's 12 hours difference between her and I, the chats are few and far between. So, but she still lets me know that she's still there, she's still hanging in. It's like, hi. It's like, oh, she's here. So, and she's a lovely girl too. No kids, single. She's working in Taiwan for another company over there. The thing I noticed too as well, the working conditions wherever you are different from where you're at, where you're currently located. And I know that's the same here for me because I'm doing like 8 hours a day, 40-hour shifts. And she's doing like 10 to 12-hour shifts. It's like a long time. And I mean, even her and I, so we do have our fun times too when we talk and all that. So that's always a good thing. And I keep her alive by my funny little goofy stuff. So I'm not gonna ask her out, that's for sure. We've known each other too long. And I'll be right back once again. Because I'm going to get my pack of cigarettes because I need those cigarettes right right now. I'm almost out, and I need to have at least a spare one with me at all times. So I'll be back once again. Hey, come on. And yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. And sorry about the delay there. Me just trying to back out of here. 2 for 2. No packs of cigarettes of my kind that I want. Which is starting to piss me off. Okay, anyhow. I'm gonna head over to Carrefour Laval. Try to get at least an hour. Try to get an hour's worth of exercise done in regards to today, because I'm falling behind. And knowing myself, I need to get that walk done. If I don't, I'm gonna go crazy. And hopefully today will be uneventful, and I can practice up on some of my typing. The boss is cracking down to make sure that we can do 40 words a minute and at least 95% proficiency on the keyboard. So I'm going to get that practice done today, because for the simple fact is, if we don't do it, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'd rather make sure I have it done and up to date for them, so that way they won't be bugging us in regards to it. So other than that, everything else is quiet. Penny I still speak with on the occasion when she does come up, and I know because of her hours, her schedule is different from what I have here. We still do chat. We still do talk to each other. It's just a matter of the time in between us, because there's 12 hours difference between where she is and where I am, and she has a job like my ex where she's switching from day to night shift and night shift to day shift, which makes it a little bit harder for her to keep in constant contact with me, even via Messenger itself on Facebook. So that's one thing. It's kind of hard to do when you have friends across the continents, across the world. That's hard to keep track of and keep people active and all that. So even my ex hardly chats with me due to the connection and the load, as she so calls it, for wireless access. So it makes it hard even to speak with my ex at times, just to see how things are going with her and our daughter. I'm just hoping that one of these days I'll have a good friend and girlfriend that you guys will actually see in front of me with me here in my vlogs. But as soon as that happens, you guys will be the first ones usually to know about it. Other than that, can't do much about anything else. And I'm trying to keep a heads up, a good attitude on everything, and also to keep my wits about me here, because God only knows, when I get into that work mode at work, it's like, don't stop, you know. How's everybody's day? Otherwise, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are keeping busy. I haven't seen anything much in the chat section besides a couple of tech things there. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want. Give the thumbs up on occasion if you can, and put something in the comments, please. I'll catch you guys later. Yes, you're not seeing my ugly mug this time around. I actually did my at least 2 rounds in Carrefour Laval. I'm right now heading off to work over here from Carrefour Laval, which is only a couple of minutes away. And I'm poopied. And in regards to getting my walking done, I didn't do the whole round. I usually do get up to 10 to 14,000 steps a day. Today I probably won't get as high as I would usually like to, but that's okay. And not only that, I just realized, I heard over the radio here in Montreal, the Montreal Laval area that I'm in, that there is a Comic-Con coming into Montreal at Place d'Armes. I'm not going to go to it this year for the simple fact the people that are coming in, the stars, are not the ones I want to go see. Last year wasn't so bad because I actually did go to the Comic-Con last year. I was able to meet up with Yaya Han, which is one of the one of the people who are in the Comic-Con for a living, who do dress up in different characters and all that. I didn't have a chance last year to meet up with Jessica Negri, who's also another one of those famous Comic-Con players there. But I'm also a fan of a couple other ones who do it as a hobby type of thing, like Mipi Gao, and another one by the name of Jessica, I think, Jessica something or other. And they're not going to be up there, so it's like not worth my time going. So I was going to go this year if there were certain key players that from the Comic-Cons that were there that I know of personally, but there wasn't. And I would have dressed up as the Doom guy. So I would have dressed up as that, but I didn't even have a chance to get that done. And that's kind of going to be left on the sideline as a first costume that I'm going to do. But I'm not going to do that for a living either, just out of fun, of course. I know one of my other guys that I know of since high school dresses up as Dr. Xavier. Dr. Xavier is, if you don't know already, is from the X-Men. Patrick Stewart played him a couple of times in the different films that they came out with of X-Men. I would have came up as the Doom guy from id Software, which is Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 2016, but I'm going to probably would have based myself out of the first characters that actually came up. So I would have done that, but because of money situations and all that, I'm not going to do it either. So that's one thing I'm going to keep on the sidelines for next time when the things are right for it. The Comic-Con was good to go last year, but, and this is always a but because I learned this last year, for 3 days I think they had over 60 or 7 or close to, I think, 90,000 people in total, grand total, for the 3 days. When I happened to go on a Saturday, which was my day off that day, luckily, the thing was packed solid. I mean, you could not budge left, right, or center in regards to it. Lineups to the cosplayers themselves, the ones that were doing this for a living, were lineups like out the yin-yang. You're looking at least a couple of hours. Some of the unknown ones, not so bad. I knew of 4 people that actually did go up and dressed up. Didn't recognize, well, I recognized one because I knew him for a long time. Another one actually helps out. And the other one was just a total shock that he came in with a mask. So he would had from one of the games where they actually wear gas masks. And it's like, huh? And it was a complete shock. So it was like, okay. So I don't feel as bad. But one of the other cosplayers by the name of Alley Cat in the States, I told her about my idea. I said, look, I'm not a professional, and I'm only doing this one time for fun. She says, I'd love to see it when you do it. Send me some pictures. Just I'll post them up as well on her site, on her Facebook page. And I said, okay. But as soon as I get it done, I'll send her a picture or two, and I'll probably post a couple on my Facebook page as well for fun. Anyhow, we're here at work. I'm going to call it a day for now. I'll probably continue on when I get home, driving home, the vlog wise. So I'll catch you guys later, since there's nothing else really to say. So I'll catch you guys later. Yay! I made it at 1 again. I'm actually heading home now, folks. It's time to go home. It's time to get some sleep. Oh God, it's been very quiet, very, 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 very quiet. So quiet you can almost hear a pin drop. Anyhow, yeah, I'm not going to show my face tonight. because as you can see, we're driving in the midst of darkness here. It's 1 a.m. We're going to just a little bit past 1 a.m. So today happened to be a very quiet day up in the front, in the forefronts. Can't complain. Very bored. So bored. I'm doing a lot of research on everything else. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get an old bulletin board set up, and I've been trying to figure out what to put as for different topics and different ideas for it. I do have an old server which is already ready to go. It's just a matter of putting the operating system on it and getting connected to the network. And that's half the fun these days when you got old technology to work with. And I'm just doing it for learning purposes and for fun, of course. No need for anything super fancy. If you're not too sure what a BBS is, it's short for Bulletin Board System. This is way before the internet ever came on scene. Sorry about that. And what it was originally designed for was to relay messages locally within the area of the system administration, or SysOp, or system operator, I should say. So what that curtails is setting up, this was actually done in the way early 70s, 80s, and partway through the 90s before the internet ever actually opened up for public access. And I've gone through it myself when I was younger, when I was actually in college. I was part of a couple of bulletin board systems way back then, and all it really is, just to give you an idea, most of these bulletin board systems use what they call as a telecommunications software package, something similar to like applications like Telnet, which is part of the Windows environment, Windows 95 through 98, 2000, Windows XP. It's a small little application that you basically, it's all character based. Basically what you do is you log onto these computers remotely via telephone modem, which used to be hooked up either internally or externally onto your computer. And they ranged anywhere between 300 bauds going as high as 56k bauds, 56,000 kilobits, coming down, and 33,000.6 going up. So it all varied depending on what type of modem you had at home. So the connections would vary. Also at the other end as well, depending on what the SysOp had on the computer itself, would also vary. So you would reach the maximum that the modem at the other end would be chatting at. So whether it's 6K, 33.3, 9600, 54, whatever the case may be. So you used to dial into these bulletin board systems and log in with an account and start exploring. So you would have different subjects that particular system had for that particular bulletin board system, and it varied from general topics, this, that, whatever else you can think of in regards to the bulletin board systems. That used to be good and popular until the internet came around, and the bulletin boards actually switched over to similar to newsrooms locally for the ISP providers or the internet service providers. Eventually that all disappeared, eventually within the last couple of years, because everybody started to use high-speed modems, either ADSL modems or cable modems. So the restriction to that was kind of non-important type of thing. Nowadays, not many people use Telnet, with the exception of companies, like banking companies as an example, certain import and export companies who use either a mini computer, mainframe, or supercomputer would need such a particular application nowadays to access their strong computers because there came a lot of data in there. So what I'm planning to do is to take one of the servers I have at home, set it up, install the operating system, and actually install this piece of software for the bulletin board system. And right now I'm just trying to figure out subject-wise or topic-wise with their main categories and subcategories of what it will be. So right now I'm just going through a listing of what I should have on it before installing any software and all that. So things like that will tend to vary, and putting in something like, as an example, games that you used to play over these applications on it. I'm not too sure of that, but I'm going to keep everything strictly text-based, and it's going to go through my internet connection that I have at home, so that way it makes it easier for anybody to actually access it remotely. And of course, there's nothing too important. It's going to be something separate from my main machine. If the thing goes down, I can just simply reformat and reinstall, and that's it. So there's nothing too horrendous in regards to that. So, and the good old days, I used to do it myself. I used to use these applications to actually retrieve my mail, bring it onto my computer at home, read it, answer the emails, so on and so forth, and then send the reply packet. So you would see that quite a bit in the good old days. It would be something similar to like email that we have in today's from today's ISPs. So you'll have everything from Sprint, Videotron, Bell, Simpatico, so on and so forth. You'll have these different extensions, the .ca, .com, so on and so forth. So it's very similar idea, similar concept to it. So that's what I was going to plan to do, but I'm going to see what goes down first before actually doing that, and doing the other projects too, like I had mentioned earlier on today in regards to it, so that it makes things easy. If I can get around to it. That's the other thing too, is I never have a chance to get around to anything nowadays. I'm so busy with everything else. Anyhow, I'm going to call it a night here. As you can see, I'm almost home, and we'll continue on my daily vlogs and go from there. So I'll see you guys around, okay? Take care. Welcome back. It's continuation from yesterday. This is going to be vlog 237 altogether, and I just want to say welcome back. And got us a nice surprise this morning. After waking up, having my first cup of coffee, an old friend of mine that used to live like one street over from where I am came into town because he was actually all the way over in Calgary. Same with his sister. She's all the way in Calgary too. So what ended up is that the sister of my friend actually lives close in Mashkush, which is not too far away from where I live here. She decided to come up for a little visit. Because my friend Bob hasn't come by for a visit because he's all the way out west. So she asked if they can come by. She says, yeah, my parents said, yeah, no problem. They can come by, but because I'm leaving right now for work, come by a little bit earlier because I'll get to see them a little bit. So ends up that they come around 11:30, quarter to 12. Not so bad. I'm not going to complain. I'm a little bit late. I'm not really that late for work per se, but I haven't seen my friend Bob in ages. I think he went out west in 2007, 2008. It's already 2017. So it's been a number of years. So we rehash some of the good old times with him and see how he's doing. He's doing good. He's working over at Home Depot in Calgary. He likes working there, and he's was a lot of little times that we had as kids growing up. That out. There we go. And we decided to get together. So we finally got together. Finally got to see him. He was also surprised that I lost so much weight because last time he was here, I was a lot heavier than I was now. So it's good to see him. He's doing great. He's loving it over there. His mom's still hanging around. Still hasn't kicked the bucket, which is good to see. Even though she's not that great of help, but she's doing okay. So that's the main thing. So it was great to see them. And I looked at the time and said, I gotta go. So finally had my lunch and here I am, heading off to work. Or heading off to get a couple of things before I head into work. So that's my whole thing for this morning. And it was a good morning. I have no complaints about that. So it was a good morning this morning in regards to that being part of my day. So it's a good sign. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't pack a lunch with me today. Mother made some potatoes last night and it's a type of meatloaf. Okay, it's a German meatloaf. And I didn't want to cut anything like that up. I could have had souvlaki as well from home. It's not the same. So right now I'm going to go down to Burger King to pick up those $6 deals there, 2 hamburgers for $6. I'm going to pick up a Whopper and a fish burger there, so I at least have that for my dinner. So that's at least one thing I'm going to treat myself today. At least I deserve that. And not only that, I don't know if I mentioned this last night. My daughter actually messaged me last night in regards to her tuition fees and all that. She has exams coming up soon, and she spoke with her mom in regards to it. Her mom's mentioned to her that she should come see me. I've been a good father for her, and I have no problems with my daughter, Princess. But she seems to be so shy when it comes down to speaking with me. I mean, she shouldn't. I'm one of those kind of gentle giants, it's like, I'm not going to hurt you, you're really good, I'm there for you when you need help, and this and that. But she seems to be very timid, non-lady when it comes to me. Friend-wise, she has no problems. It's just with me, she's a little bit more shy than usual. And even her mom notices that too. It's like, I didn't do anything that's going to upset her. I didn't do anything that she should be shy. So I know I had said this in previous vlogs that I was no longer going to help, but I might just help out this one at a time, just so she can get through the exams and all that. I know how it is in school, college, or university. Sometimes you need a little help in regards to things like that. It's just a pain for me. How can I say this? It's kind of ripping me apart because it's like I said to myself, that when I was like, no more help. But I'm one of those guys who tends to, second guess himself in regards to things like this, and many a time, I'll do it out of kindness of my heart for somebody who I care for, and this is my daughter, who I consider as my daughter, and kind of like my biological daughter, but even though I'm not her real dad, it's like I do care for her a lot. I do love her a lot as my daughter, and I've been there for the last 13 some odd years of her life, even though I would like to be there closer to her to be with her. I wasn't there because of the situation between her mom and I, and they're living all the way in the Philippines and I'm living all the way here in Canada. You know, and not many people tend to understand that, you know. And sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit to get her. I think I've sacrificed already too much and got back very little in return. So I'm debating internally how to do this. Yes, she is still working at McDonald's there in the Philippines. I know the pay scale is not the same as what it is in the IT sector. The job is usually not that good. But, I mean, we all have to cope. We all have to deal with what we have. I mean, even for me, I didn't like working in warehouses, but I still did. Doing what I had to do, moving boxes, whether it was goods, perishable goods, or working with drivers and loading up their trucks and going on route with them, moving beer and all that. I had to do my part whether I liked it or not, and I still had to, make sacrifices for myself, and made me a better person than I am today. Yes, I still do on the occasion. Even my friends know I tend to go off kilter a little bit, but jokingly, of course. So what can you do? And I'll have a lot. So I'm gonna have to take a look to see if I can do it. If I can, I'll do it. If not, it's like too bad, so sad. So that's about it right now. I'm going to let you go for the moment. So I'm coming close to looking to pick up my lunch, or my dinner, I should say. Yeah, dinner's going to be at 8 o'clock. It's going to be 7 hours ahead. So I'm going to pick up that and get the rest of my stuff and get ready to do some exercise too, because I still need to do that. God only knows I need to get my exercise, and I'm way past due. I'm hoping that tonight will be a good night too. Another quiet night. Do some more research and get my other computer ready there, the Silicon Graphics machine. I finally found an alternative operating system to the one that usually goes for it, that works with it. Since I couldn't find a working version, or there was a working version, but because the way they archived it was either corrupted or no longer good, so it made it even harder for me to actually get the operating system itself. It's a good older machine. It was originally intended for animation. It was used in movies like The Abyss, as an example. That was one of them, one of many movies that were being used. And it's a good little machine, even though it's, by today's standards, it's not in the longest shot the fastest one in the world. But when it was out at the time, it was a pretty decent machine, even for the size and shape of it. Not many people realize sometimes you can learn what you have in the past, you can learn to go in the future with. Anyhow, I'll be right back, folks. Give me a few moments. Ta-da! Anyhow, just got my sandwiches for tonight. A Whopper and a fish fillet sandwich from Burger King. That should be, at least I'm going to have at least one of the two for tonight. At least it won't be as bad. I didn't get the fries, nor did I get a soft drink there, just because I know the fries are very much filling in regards to that. So I didn't bother getting that, because I know when trying to nuke those things up, it doesn't taste the same as when it's actually cooked fresh. So that's why I didn't bother taking it. So that's okay with me. That's fine, perfectly fine. Next is over to get my usual stuff. Oh, God Almighty! Sometimes I just wish that there are days that you can do a whole bunch of things in such little time, and other times you don't have the time, but you have so many things to do. So it's like always trying to find that in-between goal that you want to set yourself up with. Sometimes it just makes it a little harder than it's supposed to be. But it was good to see my friend Bob and his sister Joanne. I used to work with his sister too way back in the day at another company. Being let go from that company was a joke and a half. Even though we tried our best, we weren't meant for that type of job there, and it's okay by me. At least I found a good place where I can actually stay put. And I'm going to learn as much as I can while I'm currently working at, and do the best that I can do. And I'm going to try to excel as best as I can at that place because I like that place. It's all about the attitude up here. And of course I'm going to try to keep up my thing there for my exercise and my billiards. When I actually got home last night, it was just almost finished in doing the compilation of it. It was at 98% or 97%. I decided to stay up a little bit just to make sure that it would finish off properly, that it wouldn't crash on me, because sometimes some of these apps, because of the data that I'm using, the video, sometimes it's a little bit too much for it, and it tends to crash, but it crashes in a good way that it was able to save it before the crash happened. And here I didn't have to worry too much because it was able to actually save it ahead of time, and which is fine by me. And I was able to actually see it. Now the fun part about it is I also have another video before that one, which is also a fairly large file. Which is another 2 to 3 gigs. So plus those two, plus this one here that I'm going to do tonight. By the time I get home, by the time I import everything, I'm going to have about at least 8 gigs of data to upload to YouTube. So you're gonna have a fair amount of watching to do in the next little while. So and if I have a chance, I'm also going to try to record more of my billiards play. Because I need to get my practice in, just because I like playing billiards now. It's for me when I started back playing billiards over at where I'm working, when I started to take it back on, I never realized the enjoyment of it. That it brought some really good challenges that I had forgotten about the game of billiards. And not many play. And I spoke with a couple of people there that never played it before. They said, well, it's really hard, really tricky. Yeah, and I told them, yes and no, but if you have the right attitude, it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, yes, it'll be tricky to get certain shots, certain things and all that, but it's just a matter of practice and getting better at it. And the one guy that I was playing with, he's getting better. He's getting better in good ways. He still has a little bit here and there to get on, to get around, which is normal for anybody, even myself. And it's like, sometimes I'll go for the harder shots, and it's like, I should have stuck with the other one. But knowing that I wanted to do it and try to do it, at least gives me that chance to say, okay, next time around, this is how you actually do it. So, it's always a learning experience. So, I'm going to try to once I get out of here, I'm going to try to get over. Sorry about that. Just paying more attention to the road than I am with you guys. A little bit of distraction, but it was necessary. Anyhow, I'm back. again, they didn't have my cigarettes here. I am being miffed off by these guys here. You know, they always leave it at, I don't know why this always happens. It happened to me a couple of times where it's like, they say, oh yeah, but we're sorry, we're out. They made an order, but they don't order ahead of time, or they don't order enough. So of course their stock runs down. So one of my friends, well, I consider him, I've known him for over 10 years. I kind of consider him and his brother kind of like friends. You know, even though we don't hang out and all that, but we spend time together. You know, when I'm at his workplace, and he knows when I come into his store that I'm looking for my cigs, and he knows me personally, so he knows to carry that little extra in it. He buys maybe 1 or 2 cartons more than usual. But he knows that at least when I do come in, he knows that he has it. And it's him and one other person that knows me down at his store that it's like, can I have my pack of cigarettes? And they know automatically. If it's somebody new over there, it's like they're going like, what is the cigs? And it's like they tell them. It's like almost automatic. They know certain clients have which type of cigarettes. So that was never much of a problem. So anyhow. As I was saying about the Silicon graphics machine that I have, I've just found the OS, a Linux version of an OS that can be used on it. I made a while ago an upgrade on the hard drives for it because it was using 2 4.5 gigabyte hard drives, which probably were at the time fairly big for it to be used. And what I've done is I've actually taking the old ones out because the old ones had the original OS on it, and I don't have the access codes to log into the administration thing for it, so I can't really do anything about it. And I've taken a look already a couple of times for the proper OS for it, but it seems to be an elusive little operating system for it. Since the versions that I've seen out there, either the archive has gone bad when they had compressed it down, or something was not right on it, so it never took properly. So I ended up spending, a couple hours downloading the operating system for nothing. So. I had to go do that. I had to go rearrange that. Anyhow, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Sorry about the ins and outs here. That's what happens when you're driving to many different places at many different times, and all at the same place and all at the same time. Anyhow, like I mentioned earlier, I know that company. Like I had mentioned, I finally downloaded the operating system. One of the Linux distributions that were out there, and I happened to find one when I was looking for it for my SGI system. It's a Debian version. It's one of the more popular ones that have a wide variety of distros, where they actually use it on many other different systems. One of them happens to be one that I'm using actually for the Raspberry Pi, called Raspbian, because it's using an ARM processor, and luckily the company of Raspberry Pi, who is the manufacturer of the actual Raspberry Pi computer, used their distribution of Linux for their system. So I know that because I'm running Raspbian at home for my RetroPie system. And I've used already Debian once before through Conical, which is another distribution of Debian, but it's not with Debian. They use their core stuff on it. So that was also a bonus because I've used the distribution of Linux through them. So it made it a lot easier for me to go the natural way of going with Debian in regards to this. The setup might be slightly different for this particular model, for the simple fact it's not the same as the typical home PC. Since the hard drives are fairly ancient and it's hard to find these type of hard drives, and the processors, memory, and all that are practically no longer being made or manufactured. Even at many of the manufacturing companies, they no longer make this type of memory stick for it because it's one of those specialty items. So this is where I'm going to use it very carefully and very wisely in regards to it. So once I can get the disk burnt, I'm going to load it up and actually reformat both drives and run it on that. Now, I'm not expecting it to be blistering fast. By no means. This is not the same as the modern day computer where you're running in the gigahertz range, like 2, 3, 4, even up to 5 to 7 gigahertz in speed. So that's one thing I have to keep in mind in regards to installing it, to remind myself, don't expect it to be as fast. But yeah, it's still a good system. It's an old system that not many people know about. And when I tell my friends that I have this particular system, they're like, what the heck is that? As soon as I show it to them, it's like, my God, they wish they could have something like that. And I said, well, you could have had it. You know, when they came out or when they were giving it away free, because not many people knew about it. Same thing with the Sun Microsystem Ultra 5s and Ultra 10s. They were workstations used in specialty places that required that type of computer, you know. So I know I'm just rambling on about computers. It's about that time anyhow, so come on, folks. Oh, great. God damn it. Do I have still time to do my walk? At least one round, maybe. 1.5. We'll see how I feel when I get over there. I might do a small little walk, 2 rounds over there, so because I'm running, because I left late from home. The other thing too is I'm probably going to send, like I said earlier, going to send that money to Princess, even though I said I might not. Just for the fact, just that I want her to succeed in her studies and be able to do well and be able to show to her mom that she can actually do it and still keep a part-time job over at McDonald's. And I even mentioned to her, I said, look, if because I know how she feels, I know how the mother feels. I've worked and studied at the same time myself, and it's not an easy task. Some people have it, some people don't. And if I know my daughter, she could probably do it. Because she has a good head on her shoulders, and I know she can do things right. So, anyhow, enough about that. Enough about yakety yak on computers. What have you guys been up to since the last time? Anyhow, I'll probably catch you guys. Leave messages and comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it, and explain the reason why you didn't like it. Besides giving it a thumbs down, because I like to hear from people who didn't like it. Just want to find out why certain people liked it and other people didn't. So it's just out of curiosity's sake. So I'll see you guys later, okay? Back. I've just finished my shift. Thank God it is done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Spent a better part of the day doing some type testing. It's just for work. They want to make sure that we can do a minimum of 40 words, 95% proficiency on it. And I spent a better part of the day doing that along with my regular work. So I'm hoping something will come out of it. So we'll see tomorrow when I actually do the test. And yes, I have it only going straight forward because you won't be able to see my ugly mug for this evening or this early this morning. So until tomorrow, when it's going to be a new day, then you'll see it. And as of right now, I just want to get home and take it easy. So take it one step at a time, as I always say. And I have to pick up some fuel too. Holy cows. So otherwise, besides that, I think I'm not going to help my ex-girlfriend, my ex-wife daughter. I've been told too many lies. Just finally got fed up with the whole thing. So it's going to be no from now on, here on in. I'm sorry to say this. So otherwise, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to get this video in and work out with the other ones, which means this is going to be done by hopefully later on by the end of next shift, and you guys will hopefully like it. And please give a thumbs up if you like it, give a thumbs down if you don't like it, and any reasons in the comment section down below, please. It would be greatly appreciative in regards to that, even though people don't usually do it, even though when I ask them, I would like to know. If you didn't like anything about it, please give me a word in regards to why you didn't like it, because it would help me find out what you guys want to see and hear. It makes it in my life a little bit easier. Don't you love driving at night? It makes a world of fun. Makes things, games of fun, and more alert. So, other than that, not a whole hell of a lot is happening in my life. Besides drama, the exes, and all that. Don't need it. Don't need the worth of it. You guys will have a great rest of the week, and happy 4th of July too for the guys in the States. Sounds like I'm repeating myself here. At any rate, this is the route I usually take on the way back to my place at 1 o'clock in the morning, since it's all basically highway driving, except when I'm going into work, because I have to stop off in a couple of places to do what I gotta do. But other than that, not a heck of a lot. So let's hope I can get there. Watching a lot of these YouTube channels lately about dash cam accidents, and I'm surprised. Through the ones that I've seen so far, they happen so quickly, and since I have mine, I've never seen one actually happen during the time that I've had it. Knock on wood, because I don't want to be in one, thank God for that. But tomorrow is going to be another day. Take it one step at a time. So we'll see what happens. And no, I'm not going to play any music in the meantime while I have recording this session. I had the air conditioner. I'm hoping that it will still be ready by the time I get home. Otherwise, it's going to be one bad night. I don't like that happening. Almost there. We're 3 kilometers to go. One thing I'll say about this, working in the afternoons is not so bad. Gives you a chance to sleep in during the morning. And gives you a chance a little bit before your actual shift starts to do other things as well if you have to go to the shopping center or whatever else. And then go to work, get the job done, head home. And then about an hour or two later when you get home, then you actually get home from work, you can actually relax a little bit, do what you want to do, and get things done, and have a good time. So, what a way to go these days. Almost there. So with this, I'm gonna stop this recording here. You guys have a good day, or a good evening, or good whatever time it is in your time zone. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So take care. Have a good night.